I really think that Lindor, it's not Durant, it's not Kyrie, it's not Judge, it's obviously nobody on the Knicks at this point. It's not Scherzer, it's not Zach Wilson is rapidly going into that territory, but football's a couple of months off. The New York athlete who is going to be front and center, in my opinion, is Lindor.
He
better play well.
The only reason I would disagree with you is because when you talk about a guy like Aaron Judge, for instance, who has some pressure because he's got to perform, not really performing, because you know he's going to perform. If he's healthy, he's been an all-star level player. Every single year, he's even when he hasn't been healthy, the moments that he's an all-star level player.
Mm-hmm.
But he hasn't been paid yet, so there's some angst, there's some urgency for Aaron Judge to be healthy and to prove something. Francisco Lindor has a 10-year, $341 million contract.
Even more reason why he better get Met fans to start liking him.
Which starts this year, so last year didn't even count. So it starts this year, and he comes across as the kind of he's not young enough to call a kid, but the kind of guy that doesn't really care, right? He doesn't care about what the prevailing thought or the prevailing emotion towards him is.
How do you know?
Because he just seems like
because he doesn't project it.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Hold on a second. If he doesn't care, why does he give
does.
everybody the thumbs down like Julius Randle did?
Because
if he didn't care, see, I got to disagree, and I got to disagree strongly. If you don't care, you're not that aware to actually do that. And again, symbolic.
But I think he is aware. I think he is aware.
He is aware, which is why I'm disagreeing. Like, you tell me he doesn't care on one part of the statement. I'm telling you, if you do that, you care. Otherwise, you just keep your head down and you're just like, whatever. I got my money. I'm good. I'll figure it out.
I think him and his boys, they got together and they're like, how can we turn this thing around so it's in our favor? Not really maybe understanding. And this is probably a lack of understanding of New York, which is surprising. Right? Yeah, we can combat them because we're the guys, right? We're the stars. I've been in Cleveland. In Cleveland, I'm the man, right? Wherever I go, I pull up in my hot ride. I'm the man. People know it. Even if we suck in a specific phase of a season, we're still the man.
There's no pressure.
There's pressure.
There's no pressure with the Indians, with the Guardians.
You're the man. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, I got you.
Whereas in New York, it's. You can be the man, but it's all about performance.
That's why I'm telling you that he's got more pressure than anybody because he did not perform
but
well
I don't
last
think
year.
He's aware of it. I think he's
definitely aware of it.
I think he still feels like he's in Cleveland and he can do it.
Last year.
Last year.
No way. The reaction was visceral to him.
I know.
So there's unless he's completely blind to where he is.
But why would he do that?
Why would he do what? The thumbs down?
Thumbs down. Why would you do that?
Because he may be a little thin-skinned. I mean, maybe he heard everything. Yes.
I think he was cocky, and it felt like
that.
I'm in Cleveland. When I was in Cleveland, I could do whatever the hell I want.
Okay, you're in New York, and you can't.
But I'm just what I'm saying. I don't think he was aware that it's different in New York.
Even if he wasn't, you better not hit 190 out of the chute. That's all I'm saying.
He doesn't come in. He doesn't feel like he's coming in this season with some of the things that he's been saying. The whole Jeff McNeil thing, which they I guess supposedly worked out. It's all good. We'll be fine.
It happens.
It is what it is. But it feels like he's taking a renewed look.
I agree.
At where he is.
I agree with
that. As opposed to where he was.
But you still have to perform. You're not running for office in terms of your...
Are you really concerned about him performing?
No. Now, that's the other part of the equation. I think he's one of the most talented athletes in the city.
Yeah.
Encompassing all the sports. I think he's terrific.
What did he hit? 20 bombs last year?
Nah, but it was very top-heavy. The last month was very good. The last month his OPS was over 9. There was a point where he was hitting like 206. He was awful. But... there were 3 straight years with the Guardians. I mean, this guy blasted 40-plus doubles, 3 top 10 MVP finishes. Mm-hmm. Here's the issue, though, all right? And you brought in Judge before about the internalization of his contract. Now, let's say Judge pulls a hammy, soft tissue, misses 20 games, whatever, goes 1 for 20. He already has so much equity in the city, even without a championship. Yeah. Just the way he's comported himself and put up numbers, and he's affable.
We've talked about that a lot.
Okay, so we know Judge is standing in the
city. Which
city.
Why it makes no sense they're haggling over $4 million in arbitration.
I agree. I agree with that. And they'll get it done. I've never wavered. They'll get the deal done. There's no doubt he's going to be a New York Yankee forever. He's going nowhere, so let's not waste energy on that. He's staying put.
Until he's a Met.
He's staying put. But I think somebody like Judge... while he has not reached iconic status yet because he has not won a championship, obviously, Judge can, fumble around a little bit, and he's still Aaron Judge, and people love him. and you enter the season, much like you enter a conversation. Let me put it this way, all right? I've used this example before, and immaterial of the network. So either Fox, CNN, or MSNBC, or anything else, right? You have these ridiculous sparring sessions where you can't even hear what anybody's saying, all right? You've got the moderator who gets trampled, and then you've got, one side espousing what they espouse, and the other side, okay.
And the only reason you know what's going on is because it's on the chyron on the bottom.
Yeah,
like,
hopefully they're giving you a little quote.
Exactly. What are they talking about, Ethan?
Exactly. You don't hear anything. But when those people go into those conversations, they go into those conversations predisposed to feel a certain way.
Yes.
And to react. And you almost go in with an energy expecting the adversary, because let's face it, in politics, unfortunately, it is adversarial. We know it is. So you go in armed with 5 or 6 data points, bang, 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 and you rifle them out.
Yes.
You're not listening to a word the other person's saying. You're just spewing what you got to spew. Now, as you get makeup and you leave the green room, you get mic'd up and you sit down, there's already this palpable tension like, all right.
That's right.
All right,
You're
I don't
ready
like
to
what
fight.
the other side represents.
Yeah, you're ready to fight.
And that's how the Met fan, not quite as viscerally, because it's not politics, but that's how the Met fan is viewing Lindor.
Are you sure?
Well, I'm pretty sure, because there's, on a level not as deep, but in the neighborhood of, you better prove to us that you're worthy of the money, you're worthy of the city, you're worthy of the stage, and you're worthy of the adulation. Because number one, you stunk last year. Number two, you told us to go F ourselves. And when you do that here, like Randall, who we can't wait to get traded, get lost, Randall. It could happen to Lindor as well. Now, the saving grace is, he's so good.
Yeah.
I don't think it will.
Yeah. And that's what I fall back on, BT. It's just I don't see how he has a season where he's hitting 180, or even a beginning of a season where he's hitting 180. And his mindset seems right. He feels like he came into camp, even though it was delayed because of the lockout, with a different mindset. He acknowledged all of the nonsense from last year, and obviously with the fans, but including with Jeff McNeil. And he's, his first few at bats, I don't know what his total, batting average is so far.
He's hitting over 300.
Exactly, 333.
Looks great.
Goff just gave it to
great.
me. He hit a home run yesterday, back to back. So I mean,
hit a double as well.
Exactly. He feels like he's playing like Francisco Lindor
because
is
he's a
supposed
stud.
to play.
He just has to make sure that carries over in April.
And so I just think that's who he is now. I think he learned a lesson last year because he thought that he was still in Cleveland. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, these fans are going to treat me just like the ones in Cleveland. They're just going to love me and adore me. And then all of a sudden, you realize that in New York, it's you can't piss when you sleep.
We're kind of having the same conversation to a degree. Like, you are focusing on.
I'm focusing on
how he's internalizing.
Exactly.
I'm focusing on how fans are internalizing his first year.
But hold on. So
go ahead.
So shouldn't Mets fans understand what I'm saying? That Francisco Lindor came from a place where his you-know-what didn't stink.
I don't think they care about that.
I know they don't.
They didn't care about it with Baerga or
don't.
Glavin's first bad year here, or Pedro. They don't care.
Yeah, but
it doesn't matter.
But
you're here now.
He made mistakes. He's acknowledged his mistakes.
Yeah, I'm not trying to crucify the guy.
I know.
The guy.
I'm just saying.
I like Lindor.
It's hard to start a season feeling pressure from the fan.
No. I'm telling you,
the fan base is going to crucify
Stanton,
you.
What did he strike out 4 or 5 times opening day? He got booed to Staten Island from the Bronx. Hoff, come on in here for a second. Pete Hoffman, everybody, resident Mets fan.
I'm here now.
Hoff, let's say, again, Met fans, I think he's going to ball out. I think he's going to be top 15, possibly in MVP voting.
That we agree
about. And I know
about.
he's going to be an all-star.
That we agree about.
He's going to perform. But.
Huge but.
Yes. But if he doesn't, all right, and he's 7 for 39 to start the season. So what? 7 for 35 is 200. So he's wallowing in the neighborhood of 170. All right? And the Mets are, a little malaise.
Has he ever been 170?
Well, last year he was.
Last year was terrible, Tiki.
Hoff,
that's the problem.
How are you feeling about that?
I don't like it already. I'm already doing a little
Exactly.
nervous about it. And
now that's a Met fan telling you that.
And you got to remember, too, like, he didn't handle New York well at all. Even to start, the Rat Raccoon stuff, I understand. It's not just the fans. It's the media. It's everything.
That's because he spent 6, 7, what was it, 7 years? Whatever it was.
I think it was 6.
6 years.
I think it was 6.
6 years. I'm looking at it now. He spent 6 years in Cleveland.
I know.
It's just
We're past. You got to stop bringing Cleveland's in the
he's in
rearview
New
mirror,
York,
but
bro.
I can't. I
You
can't
have to,
because
though.
he spent the majority of his impressionable. He's 28 years
and
old
this
now.
is-
But he was here last year.
Yes, and this
Not
is
like it's his first
Okay,
year.
but now he's coming back saying all the right things.
Okay.
He's learned from his. And isn't that all you want?
Don't hit 119.
I will tell you this
In April.
much.
He's not hitting
I will tell you this much. The
Others have.
biggest influence that might help him going into the season.
Cano.
Buck Showalter.
And Cano, actually.
Cano too, but
Yeah, Buck will
Showalter,
help him.
because you think that Showalter last year would have let him go in front of the media and say, hey, by the way, we made up some stupid story about me and McNeil getting into a fight.
No.
Never happened.
And that's why you guys should be thrilled Buck's in the house.